Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. We are back for episode 36 of our Formula 1 22 My Team Career Mode. We are here in Australia. We have not been here since the very first season. It was not on the calendar last year. So we're back in Australia, back to struggling in Sector 3 here at the last three corners. You guys will see a ton of it in this video, but if you guys have not watched the last race, be sure to go watch that. We were in Jeddah and we ended up taking the win, so we are now 1 point in front of Sebastian Vettel in this drivers championship, and we are leading the constructors championship by quite a few points. Mercedes is currently sitting in P2 in the constructors because Red Bull was scoreless in the opening race of the season, and then they got their first points on the board last race with Sergio Perez coming in P3, so 15 points for him. And Max Verstappen, through the first two races of the season, is pointless because he's DNF'd in both of them, so he's getting a little bit of that Sebastian Vettel treatment from season 2. If you guys are excited for the video and what is to come in the near future, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you guys know when all the videos come out. But we are here in Australia for qualifying, and Q1 is a little bit of a disaster. We end off Q1 in P14, so we make it in by just 2 spots. Now Australia is really not my track. Sector 3 especially. First two sectors aren't too bad, to be honest, but it's just Sector 3. I cannot for the life of me find any grip through the last 3 corners, and I lose so much time going through that sector that it kills our whole lap basically. But currently in Q2, we are in P11 behind Oscar Piastri and Lewis Hamilton, which is still a little bit alarming because I want to be higher up, and we need to be higher up if we want to keep up with Sebastian Vettel and try and keep our lead in this drivers championship. We are on our second or third flyer here. That's how many flyers we are doing in this qualifying because my other laps have been so bad. We put up a purple sector 2, 2 tenths up, and we actually gained 2 tenths on the penultimate corner. And then by the time we cross the line, we lose a little bit of time through the last corner, and it's going to be 2.5 tenths up on the previous flyer, and that is going to be good enough for P6. So we are improving as qualifying goes on here. Sebastian Vettel leading the session, of course, and then surprisingly the two McLarens in Lando Norris and Carlos Sainz in P2 and P3 going into Q3. Once we put up our first flyer, we put up a 1:16.7. That puts us down into P9. So I definitely need to do a little bit better than that, at least try and get into the top 5 to start this race. But our qualifying pace so far has not been the greatest. It was also not the greatest in Bahrain, but we were able to make up for it throughout the race in Bahrain. So I'm hoping that if we don't qualify too great in Australia, we can do something similar to Bahrain and make our way up the grid. In Bahrain, we finished in P2 after Sebastian Vettel took like a 30-second lead over the rest of the field. But we are on our final flyer, currently in P10. Lando Norris and Carlos Sainz in P8 and P9. We put up a purple sector 1, which is great. But at the moment, we're only 3 tenths up on the previous flyer, so I don't know if it's going to be enough to kind of squeeze into the top 3 to start off this race. We put up a purple sector 1, and we're going to need a purple sector 2, but it's green. We lose a little bit of time entering turn 11, and then we gain back that time through turns 10 down into the final corners of sector 3, where I definitely struggle the most. We are actually improving on time because my first lap was horrendous. I'm not even going to put that up to show you guys. It was very bad. Through the penultimate corner, we gain another few hundredths of a second and then drop back down through the final corner, up 5.3 tenths of a second, and then we are going to cross the line here, and it is going to be a P7, and that is not great. We got a lot of work to do in this race. Sebastian Vettel starting on pole with a 1:15.6 versus our 1:16.1. So Sebastian Vettel, he is very fast, and I'm a little bit scared of him this season, but let's get into the race. Let's see what we can do. Hopefully we can catch up to Sebastian Vettel, take the win of this race, and continue leading this drivers championship.
And brakes. We need to keep the engine cool though, so don't go too high with the revs.
Right, so we're here for the Australian Grand Prix, and that has to be the worst qualifying that I've had in a while. This track for me is a struggle. Sector 3 is a pain in the ass, man. I don't know how to do it right. I've gotten a little better at it, but it's still not right, and I just can't seem to find enough grip to get a decent time through Sector 3. But we're starting in P7. Hopefully our race pace is a lot better than our one lap pace. I have a feeling it will be. We do have a quick car, so hopefully we can cut our way through the field and get up into the podium, because Sebastian Vettel's starting on pole, and I have a feeling that he's going to run away with it like he did in Bahrain, unless something happens to him. I hope not, though. He's been through enough with our team, so I'm wishing him all the best, but I'm hoping that we can catch up to him. It is a lofty goal, it feels like, at the moment, but we're going to try our absolute best. We're starting behind Lewis Hamilton in the Mercedes, Esteban Ocon, and then we got Lance Stroll behind us in the Alpine as well. Let's get on the grid here. We're going to need a good start. Thank God we are starting on the outside, because turn 1 in Australia, as we saw in real life, always an absolute disaster. Even turn 3 as well. All right, here we go for the Australian Grand Prix, race number 3 on the season. We got 5 red lights, and this race is underway. We look to cover off Lance Stroll, but it's not going to be enough. One of the... Oh my god. Oh my gosh, how did we make it through that? Holy, a lot of wheel spin. I think I just caused a little bit of commotion back there. But we retain P7 starting off this race. A little bit of contact in the back. I think Lance Stroll might have hit us. Leclerc runs wide. And Sebastian Vettel already getting out ahead here. We gotta use a battery here, try and catch up. Sebastian Vettel already has a pretty significant gap. Look at the freaking mini-map there, but we could get past Hamilton here going into, what is this now, turn 9? It's not turn 11 anymore, but we gotta leave space for Lewis Hamilton. We purple sector 2 with that slipstream and battery. We're up into P6 now, so we are working our way up. We are able to keep up. I know they say that turns 1s and 3 are the main overtaking spots, but I find it a lot easier to kind of get them here on turn 11. And just stay in bounds of Esteban Ocon. We are going to get him here. We got the DRS on him. He's trying to squeeze us. We have to go onto the grass to get past him, but now we are up into P5. I think he might have hit my rear. Oh, I think he did. Crap. My bad. So Esteban Ocon's probably going to have to go and pit now. Let's see what he does. Let's see, is he staying out? No, he's staying out. I think, did I hit his end plate off? I think his end plate might have fell off. Oh, we got a safety car. Someone is out. Who's out of the session? Did I miss it? I'll check with the race director, but we got a safety car. So that is actually going to help us, because we were a little bit behind of Charles Leclerc. I think we were around 1.6 seconds. So now we'll be right up on the rear. Sebastian Vettel lead has now been erased from history. And we will now have another chance to move up some spots here quickly, as we are only on lap 4 in this race. So a lot of racing still left to go. I was a little worried I may not be able to catch up to Leclerc before we ran out of battery. Sebastian Vettel has gone to pit. Interesting. Why is he pitting? Oh, he started on the soft tire, so that's why he got such a big gap, because he started on that soft tire. But now he has a free pit stop. He is gonna have to start from the back of the pack, it looks like, or for the most part. Oh, it's okay. So it's Robert Schwartzman out of the session. I don't see where he is though. I believe he's in the Alfa Romeo. So I don't think it was a racing incident. I think Schwartzman just wiped out, because it says he suffered from terminal damage, which means, you know, damage to the car, not mechanical. So he probably just wiped out on one of the turns. It looked like it was somewhere in sector 3 maybe. So maybe down at turn 11. And we are now resuming racing. We got a horrible exit out of the final corner. That puts us back a little bit, but it will give us a little bit more clean air versus being right on Charles Leclerc. Let us get these tires warmed up and then start pushing for the podium spot. And we have to keep in mind that a lot of the soft tire drivers have already pitted. So they are at a pretty big advantage right now that I think about it. I did think about starting on the soft tires, but I wasn't sure if I'd be able to make it to the end of the race on medium. So here we are, about to pass Charles Leclerc down into our favorite little overtaking spot. I'm just going to call it turn 11 because I don't remember what the new turn numbers are. It might be turn 9. It's 9 or 11, something like that, but we overtake Charles Leclerc, and we are now kind of in a podium spot. Sebastian Vettel and the rest of the field have pitted, whoever started on soft tires, so we are playing a little bit of catch-up. So we're now catching up with Sergio Perez and Max Verstappen. DRS has been enabled. We just got in the window as Verstappen now going for the move on Sergio Perez. That's going to leave room to the outside to try and overtake him. We're going to have DRS as well, and we're going to take P2, but Verstappen staying tight to the outside, not giving me much room, but we got the move done, and we're now in P2. We got Sergio Perez up next, so our race pace definitely looking pretty good here. We are an absolute rocket ship down the back straight here, going into turn 9. But let's see if we can close the gap here on Perez. It's going to turn on the battery. The battery has been doing great wonders for us lately. It recharges super fast at the moment, but I'm sure as the races go on, that recharging ability will slow down. And we're not able to catch up to Perez here, but we are now in DRS range of Perez. But we're going to get the run on Sergio Perez here, try and overtake him into the quick chicane. I want to get a teammate status and see where Sebastian Vettel is. We're going to go to the outside. He's going to try and squeeze us into the wall, leaving up plenty of space, and we get the move done once again. Take P1, but he is right on our rear. Oh my goodness, I thought we kind of lost him.
Good job. Nice overtake.
And now we aren't going to have DRS, so that might be a little bit of an issue. We're going to have to start using our battery to defend here. Once I got on the straight, I'm going to grab a teammate status for Sebastian Vettel. Teammate status.
Gap to your teammate behind is 7.4 seconds. Okay, they're on fresh hards. They're 8th.
Okay, so he's in P8 right now, but he's only 7 seconds behind, so he's making his way through the field. And, oh, okay, so we're approaching the pit window. So Sebastian Vettel is going to take the lead of this race once we go into pit. And either Perez or Verstappen will probably box with us as well. And then we're going to see where we come out. I'm assuming that Sebastian Vettel will retake the lead of this race. But we will see here as we enter the pit lane. And get a fresh set of hard tires on. So I see Verstappen is in the pits with us at the moment. And Perez stays out in front. Vettel in P2. And we are off. 2.5 seconds. Not too bad.
Okay, stay clear of the white line on the exit. We'll receive a penalty.
Oh, we come out in front of this massive pack back here. In P7. So we gotta get these tires warmed up, get back into this race. We're gonna have to make our way through a few of the mid-pack drivers. Sergio Perez is gonna beat us out of the pit lane. No! Yeah, but he's got these super fresh set of hard tires, so we should be able to overtake him right here. We don't want to get stuck behind him. Let me go wide, give him lots of space, and take back that P5 spot. We gotta chase down Oscar Piastri still. So Perez is on that fresh set of hard tires. Verstappen might try to overtake him. Oh god, we got both the Red Bulls on my ass right now. Perez 1.5 tenths behind, but the battery proves to be useful here as we increase that to 3 tenths. Keep the P5 once again. Oh, look at that, we're in P3. Okay, that's what I like to see. So those midfielders in, I believe it was Pierre Gasly, and one of the Haas is probably Kevin Magnussen. They had to pit still. Sebastian Vettel, though, has a 17-second lead. Now, my only hope to catching him is hoping that his tires just start degrading, because he pitted to go onto the hard tires on like lap 4 when the safety car came in. So he's been on those hard tires for quite a bit. So hopefully those tires start slowing down and we're able to catch up to him. And very quickly, we have caught up to Oscar Piastri, so we are well on our way to P2. We are a lot quicker than the Ferraris right now, so we should be able to get them down to turn 9, but we will see here. I'm going to turn on the battery, 93%. This thing recharges super fast on this track, which is very, very helpful. Ooh, are we going to get them? Have to go to the outside here. Yeah, alright, we're going to get him. Oh, he tries to squeeze us into the wall. And we are just going to slice him off. And we have DRS. So hopefully he doesn't try and make a move here. Okay, we're good. So now we are in P2. And our job now, with 10 laps to go this race, is to try and get back to Sebastian Vettel. He is holding the fastest lap currently as well. Maybe we'll try and go for that, steal the point off of him. And we did not whatsoever even close the gap to Sebastian Vettel whatsoever. I think he was 18 seconds ahead when I said we should start closing the gap up to him, but he has worked some magic on those hard tires, and he's still 18 seconds ahead of us. He's already overlapped one of the backfielders, one of the Aston Martins. I'm not sure who it is. Could be Felipe Dragovic, most likely, I would say. But we're in P2, so that is good news, I would say. The only thing that sucks about that is that Sebastian Vettel will take back the lead of this Drivers' Championship 3 races in. In terms of the constructors, this is great. We scored maximum points because Sebastian Vettel has the fastest lap. The 2 Red Bulls are right behind us in P3 and P4. It was a 4-second gap, but I kind of lost a bit of time while I was talking. So they are going to be probably in P2, maybe P3 by the end of this race because they didn't score any points in the opening race. But this P3 and P4 will do well for them as Sebastian Vettel takes the win here in Australia. That safety car really blessed him. He got a free pit stop there and he never looked back. Another massive win for Sebastian Vettel as we cross the line here in P2. Dang. Alright, well, looks like we got a lot of work to do. I'm a little nervous about Sebastian Vettel, man. He is really quick this season. He's really quick. I will say, though, even though I'm pretty scared of Sebastian Vettel at the moment, I think we've hit a pretty good medium with the 100 difficulty. I think if our car wasn't as OP as it is at this moment in the season, the other drivers would be a lot closer and a little bit more difficult to overtake. They do put up quite a good fight. But at the end of the day, the CRM5 is just too OP right now, and because of that, we got 3 1-2 finishes in a row for Cyborg Porsche. Sebastian Vettel in P1, obviously, and then myself in P2, Sergio Perez joining us on the podium, securing another 15 points. That is back-to-back P3s for Sergio Perez as well. I still think Sebastian Vettel would have won the race, but if it wasn't for that safety car that gave him like the most optimal pit stop, we probably would have been a little bit closer to Sebastian Vettel. So both of his wins come with a massive gap. The first race he won with like a 30-second gap nearly, and then this race he won by about 18 seconds. So Sebastian Vettel is pretty fast. He's finally found his groove after a shaky first season with Cyborg Porsche, and it's looking like it's gonna be me versus Sebastian Vettel this entire season. We're 7 points back of Sebastian Vettel now. He gets a little bit more points because he took P1 and he got the fastest lap this race. Sergio Perez jumps up into P2, passes George Russell in the Mercedes, and Red Bull also passes Mercedes in the Constructors' Championship to take P2, but they are 89 points back of Cyborg Porsche with those 3 1-2 finishes and the fastest lap in 2 of those races. So the constructors, at this rate, it's already wrapped up. 89 points is a lot to come back from, especially with a 16 race season. And on top of that, we're going to keep putting upgrades in the car, so we're only going to get faster from this point onwards. Max Verstappen also manages to score his first points of the season as he had the 2 DNFs in the first 2 races, so he's a little bit behind, but I'm sure he will catch up to George Russell and Sergio Perez in the next few races, given that everything in his car ends up working fine. But that is going to be it for this one, guys. If you've watched up to this point, be sure to drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. We got China up next, and I am praying that it is not rainy because China is known to rain quite a bit. Last time I raced it, we had a wet qualifying, I believe, and that set us back quite a bit. So hopefully that doesn't happen again. I'm praying for dry conditions, but we will see in the next one. If you guys look forward to that, be sure to hit the notification bell so you guys know when it comes out, and I will see you guys for the next one. Have a great day, guys.